Unacceptable.
Serenity now. I know.
Unacceptable.
I know. Okay. All right. Hi, everybody. Hello. Hello. Good morning. Still have a cold. Gonna probably have to go to the doctor today. Really irritated about it. I won't take it out on you guys. I'll take it out on Joe Biden and his administration today.
It is his fault.
It's his fault and the Kardashians, obviously. It's their fault. You guys should visit mypillow.com/chicks. Use code chicks. We need to talk about the mattress toppers. I have one. It's when you don't want to buy an expensive mattress, which is me, because I just refuse to spend like $3,000 on a mattress. I'm not doing it. Okay. So we get the cheap mattress, which is, this is a pro tip. You guys listen closely. All right. Get the cheap mattress and then you buy the mattress topper from mypillow.com. It's like you bought an expensive mattress. Okay.
/chicks.
Yeah. mypillow.com/chicks. Use code chicks. Also, the men's white slides are still $9.50. Get them. You get women's ones too for $25. Black and white. You got to get them for summer. Do it.
Gotta. She says you gotta, and you gotta listen.
Do I sound like Brenda Vaccaro right now? Or like
you sound like you just
like
your voice sounds tired and
like
a little
dropped.
lower.
It's like dropped an octave this morning.
Yeah.
God, I'm sorry, you guys. It's really bad.
And she had NyQuil last night, so she's not altogether here this morning.
A hangover, like a NyQuil. Have you guys ever had a NyQuil hangover? You wake up, you're like, where am I?
It's the best sleep though. Oh my god.
God.
It is best. Oh, I love NyQuil sleeps. Love them. Point of personal privilege, if I may, I would just like to tell everybody that today is the day that Ella Dog is going to the chiropractor.
God, I could not believe there is such a thing as a canine chiropractor. What is
know.
that?
So excited. Well, I'm excited and nervous because chiropractors kind of freak me out anyway. But I'm excited to see what they'll do to her and if it'll help.
Do the adjustments and like crack her back. Have you ever seen those chiropractors on social media where they like take them and they crack their necks and the dogs are like,
have you seen the one with the giraffe? Did we show that? I think that was.
I don't remember seeing that. I
swear that we did that in a TikTok, that there was somebody that does they were doing the neck of a giraffe and it was like amazing. So anyway,
that's
crazy. She's going right after the show. I'm taking her and we will see how that goes.
Godspeed.
No idea what to make of it. Jamie Hill, thank you so much. Jamie says, I bought the MyPillow mattress topper. It is amazing and worth every penny.
Right?
This is what we're saying.
I'm telling you. This is the workaround. You don't need to buy an expensive mattress. Don't do it.
You really don't. Explain my hat. What's there to explain?
Belmont Abbey Lacrosse is where her son's going.
Where my kid's going to be going to play lacrosse. I've worn it before. Anyway, that was my moment of personal privilege. I just think it's hilarious that this is even a thing that exists in the world, animal chiropractors. And so I will give a full report tomorrow about how that goes. And then in case anybody is interested in that.
Fantastic.
Few things to get to before we get to videos. And that is, first of all, we forgot to mention yesterday that our interview with Dennis Prager is out and available to watch. So if you have not taken a moment to watch that, you should. It's on our YouTube channel. You can check it out there. We recorded it with him last week, and then I think it was posted sometime over the weekend. So make sure to check that out.
God, we did that last week. It's so weird.
I know. It feels like forever ago, right?
Yeah, it does.
And then Michael Knowles, our appearance on Michael Knowles is available on the Daily Wire subscription part. Like you have to subscribe to the Daily Wire in order to be able to see that episode. That was on Wednesday. I don't remember. Somebody was asking me on Twitter, I think, like what the episode number is or what the date of it is. It was on last Wednesday, and we're like the last 30 or 40 minutes of that show. So it's not like we're not tagged in the title or anything like that, but it is Wednesday's episode that we
should be tagged. We should be totally tagged in that show.
We should be so tagged.
We should be titular. We should be in the title of that show.
It should just say Chicks on the Right featuring a little bit of Michael Knowles.
Right. That's what it should say.
Just kidding. Just kidding. It's his show.
Yeah, we're joking.
Title it however he wants.
We're totally joking. We love him.
Also, the reason for my name today is because I'd completely forgotten that Huma Abedin exists as a human. And in fact, she does. And she's dating Alex Soros.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw
Oh
that a
my
couple weeks
God.
ago. I saw a picture of them together and I almost vomited.
Oh my
It's
God. He's
yeah,
so gross. She likes the weirdest dudes.
that's a match made in hell right there.
Oh my
It's
God.
I mean, it's perfect couple though, isn't it? Don't you
I mean,
think?
well, it's perfect in that she goes for a very specific,
Yeah.
creepy, disgusting, manlet kind of
Yeah,
guy.
dudes who look like Satan. It's like that guy looks like I think I'll like him because he looks like Satan.
And she's very attractive. So I don't know
Yeah,
why she is settling for these loser guys. I mean, now
well,
Alex Soros is a billionaire. So I mean,
I think that helps. The money in this case probably helps a little bit. She's just probably like, well, billions helps with this right here. Just
oh
provides a
my God.
filter.
He grosses me
Yeah,
out.
but
on
Wiener,
every-
yeah, she had children with Wiener, didn't she?
That
She
is
did.
that is how one has children. Yes.
Yeah, again, I'm going to remind everybody that she had relations of a sexual nature.
You
This is what I
always do
do.
this. And
She
it's the
did-
meanest.
She mounted that guy, had like relations with him, and then had children with. This is what I do. This is what I do. I'm just saying she did that with him. Maybe she'll have kids with Soros.
Oh God.
They'll get married and have
We
kids.
don't need any more Soroses. You know? No, thank you.
God, that
And
family.
she must be, isn't she quite a bit older than Alex Soros?
I don't know.
For some reason, I thought he was in his early 30s, and there's no way that she
I
is
can't
in
tell.
her.
He's one of those guys that I can't even pinpoint his age. Like I look at him and I'm like, it's like he looks 30, but he also looks 55. Like I can't tell. I can't tell.
Okay,
Can you guys
well,
tell?
I'm looking it up. Huma is 47, and
Okay.
Alex, let me see here. Alex Soros is 38. So there's 9 years. It's not that bad. Not that big of a difference.
I mean,
It's
okay.
not as much as I thought. I thought she was significantly older. I thought he was in his early 30s.
And you thought it was like a Mary Kay Letourneau thing? You thought it was one of those? Yeah, it's not. It's
not one of
guys.
those. You guys, we have a very important partner that we have just partnered with, and it's Freedom Alliance. So, I know I speak for Daisy when I say that causes that cater to veteran and military organizations very near and dear to our heart. And so it can be tough to find charities that you can, first of all, trust, that it's not just like executives getting piles and piles of money, that it's actually veterans that are getting the help that they need. And we've talked to Freedom Alliance a lot. We know a lot about them. And this is an organization that you can be proud of helping donate to. So let me just give you some of the things that they do. Like they do a lot of things for veterans, particularly those who have been injured in the line of duty. So they have done recreational rehab. They've done mortgage-free homes for injured vets. They've gotten cars. They've gotten new wheelchairs. They've done scholarships for kids of veterans who have died in combat. So there's tons and tons of things that your money, your donation to freedomalliance.org/chicks can help with. So this is not, this isn't something that we're saying, oh, you should visit our sponsors and get yourself something nice from My Pillow. This is something where you're actually getting to give back to the people that have given the most for our
the
country,
thing I like
right?
about them too, it's not just building homes. Like they stay with these people throughout their the entirety of their lives, basically. So they pair with these people and then they help them. It's like a lot of education, a lot of like additional things. So I really love them for that.
I know. It's such a fantastic organization. So you can help Freedom Alliance honor veteran service by going to freedomalliance.org/chicks. And you can, set yourself up to donate monthly. You can choose the amount. There's obviously suggestions, but you can choose whatever amount. And literally every little bit helps. And you know that you're supporting a good cause when you do it. It's freedomalliance.org/chicks. Yes. Oh, I'm so happy that the super stickers are working the way that they should.
Oh, they are. They are now.
Yes,
Good.
they're back now. Samantha Capehart, thank you. Samantha says, shout out to my mom, Tammy, as she birthed me 32 years ago. I love listening daily. And much like Gracie, my kids also listen on the way to school.
Gracie, oh my God. I just said really
Gracie
terrible
and other
things.
kids.
I totally forgot. I just talked
You
about
really did.
birth.
You
I
like
said,
made the visual for everybody. Oh my God.
oh my God. I can't. Why do you let her listen to us? Why? We're terrible.
We're not appropriate for children.
We're not. Sometimes we're not even PG-13. Especially when I've had NyQuil. I can't.
Right, she can't be expected
Can't be
to
contained in my behavior.
Decomposing Man, interesting name that you have there. Thank you very much for the super sticker. And he also says, let's try this again. They say if you're getting too much wiener, you end up with sore O's.
Get
see
it?
What he did here?
You get it?
Sore O's.
Get it? You see what he did? I see what he did. We're all really decomposing at this point. Technically,
it's kind of true. It's
we're
kind of
all
true.
in a state of decomposition.
All right, let's get to some.
That was supposed to be deep, you guys. Right.
It really just put like another gross visual in my mind,
No,
though. So
sorry.
Okay. So one more. Thank you very much. Penny Whitbrote, near-death perspective on life, who says, Nurse Penny here. So would a group of Soroses be a murder of Soroses? Maybe a gaggle
of Soroses.
We just don't need any more of them.
I think murder. I'm going to go with murder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's get to things. Because yesterday you may have heard that the judge in the Stormy Daniels Trump case is getting very, very angry at Trump for continuing to break his gag order. And so it got to a point yesterday where he decided you're now on notice that if you continue to violate the gag order, you are going to jail. And so that broke, I think it was like either during our show or right towards the end of our show. That happened yesterday. And so here's a report.
Judge Merchan just said it's clear the $1,000 fine is not working. He said going forward, this court will have to consider a jail sentence. He then said, the last thing I want to consider is jail. You are a former president and possibly the next president, end quote. Andy, why don't we just start right there? Because he's going to assess the gag order yet again. The gag order stays, but he'll assess the fine. So I think you're up to 10, 11, maybe 14 grand. I don't know. I lost count. Andy, go ahead.
Bill, as I said to you last week, if I were Trump, I basically bring in a check for 10 grand every Monday and just say whatever I want. This is all politics at this point. I don't think the judge, it's easy for me to say because he's not going to put me in custody, but I don't think the judge, because of the politics of this, it would be disastrous politics for the Democrats, for the judge to put former President Trump in jail over this. So he'll continue to fine him. And as long as that's what it is, I think Trump should just pay the fine and otherwise say what he wants to say.
Yep. Agreed. He's like Judd Nelson in detention. Remember?
Not even close.
Not even bud. It's like totally him. It's totally what he's doing to this judge. He doesn't care, Whatever.
It's so unfair and so ridiculous.
Thing.
And everybody's allowed to talk except for Trump. And so
exactly.
When this broke, and they took their initial break after this happened, here's Trump saying what he's going to say about it.
Because this judge has given me a gag order and said you'll go to jail if you violate it. And frankly, you know what? Our Constitution is much more important than jail. It's not even close. I'll do that sacrifice any day. But what's happening here is a disgrace, and the appellate courts ought to get involved.
I love it.
He will do that any day, he said.
And if he does it, imagine like his poll numbers are going to just go through the roof.
Right.
He's
and there's actually some analysis about that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. it's absurd that this is even a thing, that there is even a gag order in place. I loved this Babylon Bee headline. Look at this, you guys. New York DA indicts Trump for bringing firefighters pizza, but no salad or cheesy bread.
I love that. Ted Cruz sounds accurate. Yeah. That could be an actual headline.
Right? This is
Uh-huh.
how ridiculous this whole thing has gotten.
It
It's
is.
absolutely
It's
insane.
so stupid. Yeah, it is. And all of us are out here going, okay. I mean, just keep pushing, keep pushing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And to your point, it is going to only help Trump. Here's Hugh Hewitt on that point. Right here.
It's
The former president is establishing a lead, the sort of lead that if you were watching the Kentucky Derby or any of the other Belmonts, you'd be tearing up your tickets if you didn't have your money on the horse named Trump. He is pulling away. And I want to go back to the CNN poll. He is 11 points ahead of Joe Biden on voters 18 to 34. That's a crisis for him.
But we've seen polls. Polls have been wrong as we head into elections. We're a long way away from the election. What do you think these polls tell this White House?
I was with the vice president in Georgia on Monday. That is a battleground state that's must win for the Biden campaign. I mean, you look at how they're doing there compared to last time. He's trailing in the state of Georgia. I mean, they're trailing in a bunch of different states, but there it's significant because she went to kick off her economic tour that she is having now. That is a clear shift in the message that they're sending to African Americans in the state. It was a thing voted for Black minority business owners. So it's very clear that they are concerned at this point about key battleground states that they won in the last election.
Okay.
I hope.
Yeah. I mean, they should be concerned. And I don't trust polls either, but I think they should be concerned. That is, unless those 18 to 34-year-olds do not go and actually vote.
Or if other people are like, oh, he's fine. He doesn't need my vote.
Right.
That's
the only thing I
fear.
get concerned about is the people not getting up off their keisters and going to actually vote. Yeah.
Exactly. So here's Greg Gutfeld with a very, very quick analysis of what happens if Trump goes to jail.
Okay.
I hope they do arrest Trump. I hope they put him in jail because that does guarantee that he wins. Please, please, please. This is becoming the greatest third act of any political story, perhaps.
Well, I think
He's right.
He's 100% correct.
The comeback kid, man.
Yeah. And I think Trump is actually wanting that too at this point. He's like, go ahead, put him up, put me in jail. Go ahead, because that would secure my win.
But can you imagine like him going through the whole orange jumpsuit thing, getting searched, like the whole 9 yards? Can you imagine?
I can actually. At this point, I can. I mean, I'm sure that you guys can too, right? I mean, at this point, he's been through so much other crap. I can. They're salivating over that. They would love to see it. I think they feel like they would dehumanize him to the point of no return at that, to do that. But to us, it would be like, that is the final freaking straw. And so many people who are on the fence would be like, enough, I'm done. You guys are freaking lunatics. And I think at this point, he's just like, go ahead and do it.
Well, and you heard Andrew McCarthy earlier say, well, he should just keep talking and just bring a check every week. That was before. I mean, that was like right when they were talking about this potential of going to jail. I don't think at that point, Andrew McCarthy even saw that as a realistic choice. But the more the day went on, it was starting to sound more and more like, yeah, the judge is really, really, truly considering this. And so here is Andrew McCarthy later on yesterday.
it'd be politically disastrous for Democrats to have Donald Trump be put in jail over this. I think it would just cause more scrutiny for this case, which is very, very politicized. I don't see how that helps them politically. So I think the judge is backing himself into a bad corner by continuing to draw a line in the sand that I think he really doesn't want to cross with these threats of incarceration.
Yep.
Put him up, Judge.
I know, right? This is
if you really wanna, don't think it's a good idea, but
keep going with this nonsense because a lot of us know it's just that it's nonsense.
Yep. Jamie Hill, thank you. Jamie says, Daisy, they hear so much worse at school. My 12-year-old daughter and my 16-year-old daughter have listened to you both for years.
Oh my
no
goodness.
regrets.
Oh my gosh. There are days when I've had NyQuil and I'm not feeling well, where I have no filter. I'm very sorry. I apologize.
Anastasia 63 says, deep thoughts with Daisy handy.
Oh my goodness. It's a day, you guys.
It's a day. Leah, hi Leah. Thank you. Leah says, how is it that Hamas supporters calling for genocide of Israel have more First Amendment rights than Trump? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Precisely.
Dushelius, thank you. He says wheelbarrows of pennies delivered by Trump, donated by his supporters with a Trump 2024 sticker and an American flag. Can you imagine if he pays the fines in pennies?
That would be awesome. I'd love that.
Love it. Laura and Goof, thank you. Laura says, my 14-year-old son has been listening to you with me for years and he turned out fine. Tells me I'm a mix of y'all, so he can never escape 2A and dad jokes.
Love it. That is awesome.
That's so great. I mean, I guess that's fine.
I know. I
It
can't
makes
believe
me a little nervous.
14-year-olds. My daughter's 14. She'd never listen to this show.
Jackson's never listened. I mean, he listens because when he's in the house, he can hear it, but he's not listening. You know what I mean?
Maybe that's just our kids because they're our kids and they're like, ew, mom's show.
Why would I listen to my mom's show?
It's so lame. Yeah.
You guys, please, if you haven't already, schedule your free risk review with our friend Zach Abraham at Bulwark Capital Management. Zach is the guy who is a financial advisor who is also shamelessly conservative. And when I say conservative, I mean ideologically, but also from a risk standpoint. So if you're like me, you are risk averse. And that is a thing, especially in Biden's economy, because who knows what kind of chaos is going to ensue the longer he stays in office. And Zach and Bulwark Capital Management, they are the experts when it comes to risk mitigation and just making sure that your financial portfolio is set to withstand any of the market volatility. So you only get one retirement. This is what he always says. You only get one shot at this. So why not at least schedule a free consultation with him? You don't have to commit to anything, but he will help you analyze what you currently have and make suggestions. And then if you think, oh yeah, I want him to be the one to help me with this, then you've got yourself a great new partner. You can schedule your free risk review at knowyourriskradio.com. That's knowyourriskradio.com.
Sorry. I am so stepped up, you guys.
Okay, so let's talk about the tax hikes. We've mentioned this a couple times. The fact that for inexplicable reasons, Biden is like on the campaign trail bragging that he's going to raise everybody's taxes. It is so weird. And whenever KJP is asked about it, she's like, "Oh no, he promised it's only going to be people making 400,000 and above." It's just a lie. And here is a report that talks about just what the impact will look like.
Numbers are not as hopeful as I thought they would be. The new data showing actually that the president's plan to let Trump-era tax cuts expire would raise taxes on most Americans. So who specifically is going to see the tax increases under President Biden? We are diving into the real math here. Here are some examples of 3 middle-class Americans and how much they make and if they have children or not. We're going to start with a single filer with 2 kids making $52,000 a year. Under Biden's tax plan, this taxpayer would see a $1,474.50 tax increase. Now take a look at a single filer, no kids, making $75,000 a year. They're going to see an increase of $1,707.75. And this one is the one that really gets me. A married filer, so you've got a couple, 3 kids, making $200,000 a year. This couple is going to see an increase of $7,449.56 when the Trump tax cuts expire.
Oh my God.
You even?
Yeah, it's insane. How do people on the left explain this away? How do they rationalize that this is okay? How do they rationalize that they like this? How can anybody in this country still be on this guy's side? I don't get it. How can they be like, thank you, sir, may I have another?
Right?
What is wrong with these people?
It's madness. And what's crazy, watch the crowd or listen to the crowd in this clip of Biden on the campaign trail where he's talking about Trump's tax cuts. He's trying to get the crowd to say, oh yeah, those were so bad for me. My life was so bad when my taxes were cut. And these sheep in the audience, they are going along with it, except for one person. I guess that he's off the screen, but one person who's like, yeah, life was awesome during the Trump tax cuts. And Biden goes after him saying, oh, okay, well, you're doing pretty good. Well, listen to this. I'm going to raise everybody's taxes. And people are like, woo. I mean, these people are losers.
Sheep. Yeah, they're absolute loser sheep. They're lobotomized.
I mean, just watch.
By the way, how many of you did really well with that $1.9 trillion tax cut that increased? Really good shape, right? Really changed your. Well, you did. Well, that's good. I'm glad to see you're doing well already, and I'm good. But guess what? If you elect me, you're not going to have your taxes are going to be raised, not cut. If you benefit from that.
But what is wrong with them? I mean, it's the sheer stupidity in that crowd. They're all like, "What's a tax cut?" I don't even know what he's talking about.
Me I was better off when I didn't pay as much taxes. So I'm
gonna go along with it because I don't have any idea where I am right now. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Democrats. And speaking of Democrats, Hakeem Jeffries recently did an interview where he was expected, I'm sure, by the Biden administration to promote how great everything is under the Biden administration. And that did not play well with his interviewer.
2/3 of voters think the economy was better under President Trump.
Well, that's just not the case. And we have to do a better job of laying out the facts that the economy has dramatically improved under the leadership of President Joe Biden.
But if those are the facts, why don't voters believe it? Is that a communication problem?
Voters understand that more needs to be done, that there are challenges that remain.
It's a propaganda problem. It's a propaganda problem is what she's saying. Yeah, you're just not telling them like all the lies that you should be telling them, right?
Yeah, and the facts are, Hakeem, that inflation has averaged 5.6% under Biden when it was 1.9% under Trump. That earnings are down almost 4% under Biden. They were up 8.2% under Trump. And of course, don't even get me started about mortgage rates or gas prices.
Yeah,
everything is worse now. So they just lie.
How can you tell somebody, listen, I'm going to raise your taxes, and that person be like, yay, that's great. I mean, there are people on the left who will say, paying taxes is patriotic. F you.
Oh my God. Then you pay it all.
Yeah. Then willingly and openly pay more than your fair share. Write a check.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when the IRS says you owe $20,000 on your taxes, you should pay $40,000 if you feel that way. Write a check for more. You never see these yahoos paying more. This is the thing. So I don't understand when people say it's not patriotic for me to pay taxes. The founders didn't want us to be paying this much in taxes. That's not what they intended for this country. Taxation is theft, period. Oh my God, you guys, we fought a revolution for less than this.
Way less.
For crying out loud.
Yeah, good Lord. The amount that they're talking about too, and then add the capital gains onto that. Oh my God. I mean, they're going to just break the country. They're going to break it. Jose Rodriguez, thank you. Jose says, Daisy, did your balls drop? Asking for a friend.
Because
Morning
of my
from
voice.
Texas.
Listen, I got bigger balls than a lot of people out there. But yes. I think
Mendy Owens, thank you. Mendy says, as a CPA, KJP is absolutely wrong. Someone needs to stop her. She doesn't know the law and is disinforming the American public. Unfortunately, the disillusioned will believe her until they do their taxes, and then it'll be too late.
Yeah, it's like,
what idiots.
What have we always said? It's like on the radio, we used to say this all the time. We kind of wish people didn't have like direct deposit and have money taken out of their taxes automatically. It should be in this country that you have to write a check or you have to push your money for taxes, that it wasn't just pulled out automatically.
Mm-hmm.
And like all this stuff where, kids finally have to start, when they start in jobs and they're like, what's FICA? What's all this stuff that's being taken out? I wish that people did have to willingly actually have to give money for taxes. Like they had to push it out, because then it would hurt more.
Right.
It wouldn't be so
and
automatic.
Then you would see it. It wouldn't be so invisible.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And if they did that, I think we'd have a lot more conservatives in this country.
Mm-hmm. Stuart the Brit, thank you. Stuart says we're gonna rise taxing on tea. Suck it, we win. BTK, thank you. BTK says Gutfeld said Trump in jail could sell Trump. What?
Gutfeld said Trump in jail could sell Trump shivs. The shivs.
Oh.
He could sell like branded Trump shivs with like MAGA on them. Yeah. Yes,
that is perfect. And Andrea, thank you. Andrea says, don't forget the unrealized gains tax, 25%. Yeah, that's why I mentioned it. unbelievable that they are actually thinking about doing that. It's gonna break the country even
Yeah,
more than it's already been broken.
Yeah.
And the gaslighting on the economy and everything else is out of control. Here's KJP just yesterday on another topic, gaslighting the bejesus out of all of us. Right here.
Under this president's leadership, President Biden, violent crime is at a nearly 50-year low. Thanks to the extraordinary efforts of law enforcement and community leaders, Americans are safer from violent crime today than they were a year ago.
You feeling safe?
Feel safe? You guys feel safe?
Feeling it?
How can she just? I mean, she sleeps well at night too, doesn't she?
I bet
she gets
she
into
does.
bed all cozy with like her lesbian lover, and she gets in there. I don't know if you guys know if she's a black lesbian. I don't know if you know that because they've told us that a couple times. But she gets into bed at night. She sleeps so well after saying all these lies to people. It's unbelievable to me. Like we're not safer. There's data out there.
Oh my
There's
God.
data that you could literally shove right in her face, and she'd be like, "Let me be clear. I'm just going to ignore everything that's actually going on." Oh my God.
I know.
The lies.
Do you guys remember Maxine Waters? She's still alive and still representing.
Are we sure about that?
Well, she is in whatever form this is.
Okay.
And she was on MSNBC to talk about how scary the right-wing people are because we're up in the hills plotting horrible violence. Not a word about the actual violence that's taking place all over the place, right? But the pretend violence that hasn't happened in the hills.
In the hills.
In the hills. She's very worried about it. Here she is.
This is a man who we better be careful about. And I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask the Justice Department and I'm going to ask the president to tell us what they're going to do to protect this country against violence if he loses. I want to know about all of those right-wing organizations that he's connected with, who are training up in the hills somewhere and targeting, what communities they're going to attack.
Jen, what hills is she talking about? Like, is there a particular hill that she has in mind?
I'm unaware of hills.
In the hills,
we're training on.
Are you guys training in the hills? I don't.
I
that
don't know
woman
anything
is
about that.
batshit crazy, is what she
Still.
is. Good Lord. Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
but listen, she's not concerned about any of these kids protesting at colleges. I mean,
or she's not concerned about what happens if Trump wins. The very people that are causing the mayhem right now, you don't think they're going to get 10 billion times worse?
No, they're totally serene, Mock. I mean, they're fine. I mean, we shouldn't be concerned about them at all. I mean, as evidenced by what we've seen across, like literally rampant across college campuses. It's fine. Everything's fine. And we didn't witness anything with all the BLM riots and everything. No, it was all peaceful, you guys. Totally
peaceful.
Yeah.
So peaceful. It's time to talk about dogs.
Oh my gosh.
You guys, have you gotten your free bag, your free Jumpstart trial bag of Ruff Greens at ruffchicks.com? It's free to try. So if you haven't gotten this for your dog, why would you not give them this for free to try? And then your dog is going to be like, yeah, I'm going to need you to go ahead and subscribe to that because it's amazing. And it makes me feel amazing. That's what your dog would say if your dog could talk. And the reason that they feel amazing is because Ruff Greens is packed with essential vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and digestive enzymes. This is what brings their dry kibble back to life. Back to life.
I knew she was going to do that. I knew she was.
And it is the mastermind of naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black. He is the founder of Ruff Greens. He also is the reason that these yummy Ruff Chews exist. And these, those
are fantastic. My dogs absolutely love those. And you can give them to puppies.
See, you can give them to puppies.
You can.
And they love this stuff, you guys. They love it. And it makes them feel good. It's like an oil change for a car. You may not recognize an instant difference, but over time, your dog is going to perform better, just like your car performs better when it gets all the oil changes that it needs. So just try it. Try the free Jumpstart trial bag. You can get it at ruffchicks.com. That's RUFF chicks.com. And look at Amanda just sent Venmo and said, it's your purple hair conservative friend again. Today is my 45th birthday. Spending my birthday morning with coffee and the chicks. It's the best way to kick off a new year.
Happy
Happy birthday. And Melissa Hayner also sent Venmo saying, after teaching middle school math for 13 years and subbing for 5, I changed careers and am doing bookkeeping and accounting. Love it, but learning about taxes from this side is a nightmare. If I wasn't starting my day with the chicks, I would probably start with vodka.
I can't imagine doing the tax thing. I just can't. Oh my God, there's no way.
There's no freaking way. Absolutely no way.
Nope.
And then we've got, let's see. Andrea said, oh yeah, I already read that one. We have Laura Kate Baker. Laura says, Michael Knowles has a YouTube channel. Y'all did great. Are we on that? Is his show on that, like publicly? Because I didn't know that. If it is out there, then just look for last Wednesday's episode. Hopefully that's available broadly and not just behind a paywall. That would be amazing. BTK, thank you. BTK says Biden is taxing the value, not after the sale. I know we've spent like a bunch of time in previous shows talking about what capital gains taxes mean. Juice Elias, thank you. He says no need for a home equity loan when the unrealized gains is stolen by the government. Exactly. It's the biggest scam. Oh my God.
Taxation is theft.
Stephanie McDuff, thank you. Stephanie says about, I don't know what.
About They always say to have savings taken automatically so you don't notice the difference. About taxes, I've been saying this about taxes for years. So it's probably, I think it goes back to our commentary about having stuff taken out automatically rather than pushing it. I think that's probably what she's talking about. Yeah. It's like you don't notice like how awful they are because you're not actually writing the check.
And she's comparing it to like when you do a 401k auto withdrawal. You don't feel it as much if it's automatic, which I get. But taxes, everybody should feel it so that they understand what's being stolen from them.
Yeah.
Because it is. It's totally being stolen from you.
And they can up the amount without you knowing it. That's the thing. It can just be incremental and they can up it. And then you're just like, I don't know. I mean, because this FICA thing, I don't really pay much attention to what's in FICA. I don't pay much attention to nobody really cares and pays much attention to their Social Security. They don't care about that every 2 weeks. And so if they had to write an actual check for it, they'd be paying attention.
Oh yeah. They'd be caring a lot more. Connie Cannell, thank you so much. Connie says, send Maxine back to the hills. Trump 2024. Have a great Taco Tuesday.
Oh, it is Taco Tuesday.
Yes, it is Taco Tuesday. Stephanie McDuff, thank you very much for that super sticker. Also, I hope I didn't miss anybody.
I think there's one more. I think, did you get Mendy? Oh, you got Mendy.
I did. I did.
All right.
Okay. I hope I caught everybody. And then I also see that Ivana Castle sent one saying, good morning, chicks. Here from California. We need a divorce from people like Maxine. If LA could just be pulled out of California. Yeah.
Would that do it though? Would you think?
No.
I mean, San Francisco is also a problem.
Yeah. There's a lot of problems. A lot of problems.
Yeah.
Jen Psaki was on The View and Alyssa Farah decided to ask her about the strategy of not having Biden out and about in front of the press a lot. And Jen has some interesting spin and an interesting idea of where Joe should interview next.
On both sides of working as a press secretary, but also now being in the media. And there's been a lot of criticism of Biden, most recently from the New York Times, that he's held the fewest interviews and press availabilities of any president since Reagan. I personally think it would help dispel some of the concerns about his age if he did more. What would your advice be to the White House in terms of his accessibility to press?
Well, I think the benefit of the media environment right now, there's a lot of challenges, but I'm going to start at the optimistic side, is that there are so many choices. And when you're communicating from the White House, I mean, respect for freedom of speech and freedom of the press is important, but you're also really just trying to communicate with the American people. Right. So my view is he should come on The View before he does a press conference.
Thank you. You know he will.
He should, because people want to have real conversations about issues that are happening. I think press conferences are important, but I also think him doing Howard Stern, that's an interview that reached a broader audience of people.
Oh my God.
Him talking to the guys from Smartless, which is a great podcast. So if you're in the White House, you're not thinking about, am I checking the box on doing the most interviews? You're thinking about, am I doing the most I can to communicate my message to the American people? That's who I represent. So I would say more Howard Stern, come on The View, more Smartless conversations where you're having conversations about policy, but they're real ones that people have at their kitchen.
There were no conversations about policy on Howard Stern. He didn't ask the tough questions. So
which is why that's exactly what they want to do more of.
Yeah. I mean, Psaki it's great. If she wants to steer him in that direction, that's great. You can run him right into the ground. So give him that advice, Jen. Keep giving him that advice.
Speaking of running into the ground, Bernie.
But why? But I've got a cold, but why?
You made an announcement yesterday about your political future, and it was way too long. It went on for 8.5 minutes. Here is just the first tiny little piece of it.
Here we
Thank
go.
the people of Vermont from the bottom of my heart.
My heart.
For giving me the opportunity to serve in the United States Senate. It has been the honor of my life. Today, I am announcing my intention to seek another term. And let me take a few minutes to tell you why.
This is we're not giving you a few minutes.
We're not giving you.
I am asking once again for your support. Once again.
Oh my God.
Such a schmuck. We know why you want to do it. Power and money. We know why. We already know.
How old is he? How old is he right now?
He is 2,000 years old. That's how old he is. He is so freaking. He's older than dirt, Mock.
I'm gonna look
at
how
he's
82. And he wants another 6-year term.
6 years. He wants another 6 years. He's 82, you guys.
Oh my
God.
God.
What the hell is wrong with these people?
This is insane. This is insane.
I'm asking once again. Once again. For
Insane.
8 minutes. For 8 long minutes. I'm asking once again.
And let me tell you why.
And this is why we already know. Because this is all you've ever done. You basically went from your mom and dad's basement when you were 40, because he didn't have a job up until the time he was 40, like a job. And then he went directly into politics, which is a job, I guess, if you want to call it a job. That's what he did. And he's been sucking off the taxpayer teat ever since.
Yep.
This guy.
That's exactly right.
What a complete loser.
Moving on, let's talk about Trump and his message that he gave recently to university presidents in light of all of these campus protests. This was awesome.
When I get back into office, I will put every single university and college president on notice. The American taxpayer will not subsidize the creation of terrorist sympathizers on American soil.
Damn right.
Okay, there's that. And I believe him.
Mm-hmm.
Because
there's that.
I mean, he keeps his promises, this guy. So you can't say that for other presidents.
No, and he actually had right outside of his trial where he was talking about, he'd be willing to go to jail or whatever. He also had just found out, just like we did during our show yesterday, that Columbia had canceled their commencement. And so he made a comment about that.
Now, it just came out, Columbia just canceled their commencement. Axios. Columbia just canceled their commencement. That shouldn't happen. And it also came out that the protesters, many of the protesters, are backed by Biden's donors. Okay? Are you listening, Israel? I hope you're listening, Israel. Hope you're getting smart. But they're backed by Biden donors. That's where the money's coming from. And I'm not surprised at all. There's many other articles.
Yep. That's where the money's coming from.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I mean, how do you square with that if you're a liberal?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess if you're a liberal, you agree with all the protests because you're a psychopath. So
what about if you're a Jewish liberal?
I will never understand that.
I mean, this is the thing. What do you do with that? What do you do with that? You look in the mirror and you're like, well, I mean, I guess I need to change parties now. I mean, because how do you reconcile?
I have no idea.
I mean, because because we've always known who this guy is, you know, and when Politico came out with that article and they're like, oh my God, this is so shocking, this information. And we're like, oh my God, you're an idiot. We've always known this is Soros. Hello. It's like, this is new information to these yahoos. This isn't new to anybody with half a brain cell. We know that this has been going on. Okay, well, now it's out there. The information's out there. What are you going to do with it? What are people in Hollywood going to do with this information? Are they okay with it? Because they're all a bunch of liberal hacks.
Yeah.
So what do you do with this information? If you are just now learning it, if you're that much of an idiot and you're just now learning it, what do you do with it?
And how do you excuse when it gets as vile as it did yesterday, when there were pro-Palestinian demonstrators who were basically shouting down and harassing people who were on the grounds of Auschwitz?
My God.
I mean, this is in this march to honor victims of Nazis, and that's where the protesters decided that they needed to demonstrate. I mean, it's so beyond vile. Like, it's just beyond.
Exactly. And there are people on the left who are just silent. They're not saying a word about this.
Yeah.
And worse, it's like when you don't say anything, that means to me that you are lockstep in line with these people, with these Nazis.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're telling me who you are.
Yesterday, there was some confusion because I think it was it Egypt and Qatar? They had apparently been working on this ceasefire proposal, and they didn't release the terms of this ceasefire agreement, but they announced, and then the United States announced along with them, hey, guess what? Ceasefire, yay! Hamas has agreed to the ceasefire. And Israel was like, what are you talking about? Like, we haven't even seen any proposal for a ceasefire. It was a total setup to make it look as though Israel is now being the complicated ones, right? That they're not agreeing to the ceasefire terms. There were no terms that they had seen, and then once they finally saw what this proposal was, it was utterly unacceptable. And so this was such an amazing flip in the narrative, and it was such a mean-spirited one. And it's just gross. I'm so angry at the entire international community about this, the way that they're trying to make Israel out to be the villain in all this.
The aggressor, yeah. But haven't they been doing that for months? Haven't they been doing that?
Like, so gross.
I mean, it's seriously within like a month or two after the hostages, after that horrible massacre, and then the hostages were taken. I mean, I feel like the narrative flipped, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, it's vile. And so now they're moving forward with their plans to move into Rafah. They, poured in a gazillion flyers to the people there, telling them where to go, where to evacuate, because this is what they do. And there is no ceasefire. I know the people in Palestine, there were like people out on the street celebrating when they first got the news. And that's, they were rejoicing, thinking that there was an agreement. And now, because of the way this whole thing went down, now they're furious at Israel again, not understanding that the reason that they're in a war in the first place is because of their government, not because of Israel. It just makes me so mad that constantly gets lost. The spokesperson, Elon Levy, said it looks like Hamas didn't agree to the ceasefire. It agreed to a ceasefire, to a proposal Israel hadn't agreed to and maybe hadn't even seen. That's not now how negotiations work. It's how media manipulation works. Yeah. And he's exactly right about that. Ben Shapiro said something similar, basically pretending that there's this conversation. Israel, here are the terms of our proposed ceasefire. Hamas, no, we will fire rockets at your soldiers at a humanitarian aid entry. Israel, okay, well, we're going into Rafah. Hamas, we accept a ceasefire that we negotiated with ourselves. Media, Hamas accepts ceasefire. They want peace.
Oh my
It's exactly how it played out yesterday.
Right,
exactly.
right. And I'm sure that, like this is the thing, a lot of these like young people who are getting their news from TikTok doesn't help.
Yeah, exactly.
It's precisely where they're getting it, because TikTok is, my God, the most anti-Semitic. I mean, they're going to be spinning it the way exactly like this.
And it just, what makes me so sick too is the treatment of the Palestinians by the Middle East. They're like, the Queen Rania of Jordan was in an interview just recently where she's like, so mad at how Israel, there's like a double standard, that everybody was outraged when Hamas attacked on October 7th and we all responded appropriately. But now that there's innocent Palestinians being killed, now we don't care. And I'm just like, how are you not hearing what you're saying? Your country will not accept a single Palestinian refugee.
Right.
You absolute hag. And so she's gorgeous and she's very well spoken, but she is flat wrong when she says this nonsense, and it just makes me rage.
People view the U.S. as being party to this war because, you know, Israeli officials say that without a U.S. support, they couldn't launch this war. You know, you turn off the tap and the weapons dry out. So there's been anger in our part of the world, not at just what's happening, but at the world's reaction. When we see these violations, human rights violations and international law violations, and we're watching the world letting it happen. When October 7th happened, the world rightfully condemned it and took strong action and strong positions. We are outraged that the same is not happening when Palestinians are getting killed. And so there is a sense of the selective application of humanitarian law and a sense of unfairness, a sense of our lives don't matter as much.
So
Screw
basically,
her.
So
Oh my God.
what she's saying is, you handle it, America. You handle it, other people. We're not going to do it because humanitarian aid and like actually helping these people, we're not going to do it because we're not going to let any of these dirty people in because they're gross and dirty.
God.
We're not going to do it. But you guys, the other people in the international community, they need to handle it. What a biatch.
I know.
I
I'm just
can't.
I'm raging at her.
God.
Raging.
Give me a break.
Just unreal. Amanda on Venmo said, my 14-year-old used to want to be a veterinarian and now she wants to be an animal chiropractor. I've been looking into it, and where we're from, there's only one in the whole state. I told her to go for it. You got a nice day. It goes mock. You got a nice, I'm reading it.
Probably you
verbatim.
have a nice day.
Okay.
Take that as you have a nice day. That's very sweet.
Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank was on Fox yesterday to talk about the campus protests and specifically about AI and how AI may just prevent all of these losers from ever having any sort of success in their lives ever. I thought this was just a really interesting take that we haven't heard a lot of. Here he is.
Student protests have been with us hundreds of years, and there's always the passion when you're young. What's different about this time is, for the first time ever, because you think about the protests in the 60s and 70s, they were shot on 16mm film, very, very grainy, hard to get resolution, particularly at night. Not the case now. Everything being shot now is 1080p or 4K, even the surveillance cameras. Every single image, even at night now, goes into an AI generator and will tell you who that individual is. So I hire people. I have a lot of companies. I hire thousands of people. Within weeks, I'm going to be able, when we're doing your background check, I'm going to find this because it's going to be in there on the dark web. Those are the services we buy. It's only $5,000 to do a deep, dark check. Here's your resume with a picture of you burning a flag. See that one? That goes in this pile over here, because I can get the same person's talent in this pile that's not burning anything.
Right.
I don't care what university or what you're burning or whose side you're on. You'll never know why you didn't get a mortgage. You'll never know why you didn't get into college. You'll never an advanced education. You'll never know why you didn't get the job, because we see you now. And all you need is to have your eyes exposed with a new 4K image, and for the rest of your life, you're in this pile. So there's plenty of consequences for all those people. Even an image that far away, AI can generate who they are by the way the body moves. I can't believe the stuff I find in background checks now. These people are screwed.
Yeah.
What did Jesse say?
They'll all be working at Hims. All of them. Every single one of them be working on boners.
We have an update about him coming up later in the show also.
Can't wait.
Oh my gosh. Also, just to close out this whole campus protest segment, Trump released an ad, a new ad that is based on the campus protests. Very, very good. Here it is.
Campuses struggle to get control of their students. At UNC Chapel Hill, they are bringing order back. Students restoring the American flag and singing the national anthem.
Protesters began to take down the American flag, and that's when the guys stepped in.
Patriotic fraternity brothers stepped in and said, "Not today, Hamas."
The group of frat brothers defended the American flag from anti-Israel protesters.
I held the Israeli flag, and they held up the American flag while protesters chanted at us, screamed at us. I was told to kill myself about 50 times, called a white supremacist, a fascist.
They protected the flag for an hour. They were pelted with bottles and rocks.
But they stood strong. I think the most popular college students right now are the ones at UNC.
God bless those UNC frat guys for taking down the Palestinian flag and putting up Old Glory.
Giving us some hope there that not all college students have gone woke.
They should be celebrated for, and what be more rare is their bravery, their willingness to stand up and exhibit that patriotism and protect America.
All is not lost. In every corner of America, there are many people that love this country.
I'm very proud of these boys and very, very proud that we have parents that are raising good kids like this in our country.
I love America. There are still patriots in this country that actually want to fight and would, sacrifice themselves for this flag, this country.
It's good to know that there's some patriotic young men out there supporting the flag still out there.
Don't bend the knee to these people.
I love it. There are also some patriotic young women out there still too. We're raising them too. Just FYI. They're out there. And you know what? I'm glad to see that there are young men that they can actually marry someday. Makes me very excited about that. So that's
Look
good.
At this.
I know. I saw it. I saw that flash across the screen. I love that, Mike. She's your type.
See, you should go for that.
Go get her,
make
Mike.
your
Go
move.
get her. It's like a rom-com. At the end of a rom-com, you go get her, Mike. Don't let her go.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I may get some backlash for this, but I'm about to go off on Kristi Noem.
Here we go.
She is on my last freaking nerve.
You should have seen the tweet yesterday, you guys. Like Mock sent me, she sent me a screenshot of a tweet. She's like, I said some things. And I was like, oh, okay. All right.
I am sick and tired of this woman and her dancing around tough questions and her dishonesty and her absolute fakery. And now I'm convinced that everything about her is a lie. Everything is a lie. I'm just, oh my God. So I thought we'd be done. Like yesterday, we played a significant amount of stuff about her. And I thought, okay, surely that's it, right?
Right. I was like, can we just stop talking about her now? Because it's been such a she's been such a huge disappointment. And you guys remember, I was like, oh, I was so excited. I thought she was going to be the VP candidate. I was really excited about her. I mean, I have liked her for years. Such a huge disappointment, just a colossal disappointment. And, we call it like we see it here on the Chicks on the Right show. And
no matter what party. I mean, we're going to say the things no matter what side of the aisle.
And I just cannot get over what a gigantic disappointment. So I'm like, okay, can we be done with this now? Because I just don't want to keep talking about but she just keeps disappointing me.
I mean, she's everywhere. She will not stop
just
showing up.
Shut up, lady. Yeah, just shut up. Yeah.
And it's like she just keeps digging her own grave with every appearance.
She's not going to be VP. Sab once said she's going to be. She's not. She's done.
There's no way Trump would.
I don't think she's going to be governor. She's like. How many? Has she already served 2 terms?
I don't even know. I don't even know what South Dakota's term limits things are.
She's done.
But she's a mess right now. And so she was on this is one of the clips that made me rage. But when they ask her directly, okay, did you talk to Kim Jong-un or not? And she continues to do this ridiculous dance. It just makes me rage.
When you write in the book, I remember when I met with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un, I'm sure he underestimated me. That, as I understand, is now being removed from the book at your request.
Yes, when I became aware of that, we changed the content, and the future editions will be adjusted. And, I appreciate that. I've met with many, many world leaders. I've traveled around the world. I should not have put that anecdote in the book, and at my request, they have removed it.
That specific meeting didn't happen?
I'm saying that I'm not talking about that meeting. I'm not talking about my meetings with world leaders.
But you
there's
do
some
talk
that are
about
in the
meetings
book.
with world leaders.
There's some that are in the book, and then there's some that's not in the book. Many
but why
of them,
are there
actually.
2 specific mentions of meeting Kim Jong-un and talking about him, and a specific memory? I'm sure he underestimated me, having no clue about my experience staring down little tyrants. Did you tell your ghostwriter to write that?
I specifically have worked on policy for over 30 years. And over that time, I have traveled around the world, and I have met with leaders around the world. And that anecdote, I've asked them to change the content, and it will be removed.
It's a simple question. Did you or did you not meet Kim Jong-un?
That's the answer that I have for you, is that it will be adjusted. And as soon as I became aware of it, that content was removed.
What about...
Maxine,
How do you become aware of something that you supposedly wrote? How do you just now become aware of it? What does that even mean?
Or become aware of something that you supposedly didn't do. Like, this is the thing. It's not even just becoming aware of something that was written, but you either met the guy or you didn't meet the guy.
Right.
Just freaking say, okay, I didn't meet the guy. And it was a mistake. I actually didn't meet him. And I'm sorry about that. So we took it out of the book. It's just something that the ghostwriter put in the book. I had him take it out because I didn't actually meet him. This is not freaking brain surgery. Why? I don't understand why she can't just say that. Like, people, it's okay if people make mistakes. This is what I get so irritated about in politics and in life. People make mistakes. We've all made mistakes. I've made mistakes. You've made mistakes. It's like, we're just human. Okay. Like, we do stupid shit all the time. It's like, just like fess up to the mistakes. And then people will be like, oh, you're human. You're not a robot with a bunch of crap put in your face. It's like, that's what people want to see. And that would make her a lot more endearing, but we're not doing that. We're not doing it. It's like, that's what disappoints me even more. It's like, it's the act of her, like, I guess, messing up or lying is not what is upsetting me. It's the constant going on these shows and doubling down on this that's upsetting me. I don't care if people make mistakes. In fact, I'm okay, especially conservatives. If you have faults and you're flawed, I applaud you because I actually welcome conservatives like that, because you're going to be more like me. And that's great. But when you can't admit that you've made those mistakes and you double down, and then I'm out. I'm out.
Well, and it's that what you just heard is like, that's been consistently how she's danced around this very direct question until she was on with Jesse, where a new element of the story revealed itself, and it was a little bit of a different answer. Here it is.
I understand that they're attacking me for it, Jesse.
Yeah, they are. So they're also attacking you. I guess you said you met Kim Jong-un.
Mm-hmm.
Did you meet him?
I've been to the DMZ. I've been to North Korea. I don't talk about my conversations with world leaders. And so when I looked at the book and I saw that excerpt, I decided to make the change to the content of the book, and that's been done.
So you didn't have a conversation with Kim when you were at the DMZ?
I don't have conversations about my conversations with world leaders. I've been working on policy for 30 years, Jesse, and that's what most people don't remember about me is I'm old. I'm a mom. I'm a grandma. I've got 3 little grandbabies.
You're not that old. So maybe you did have a conversation with Kim, but you don't want to talk.
I will not talk about my personal conversations with any world leaders. It just won't, and I'm not going to do it.
What have you learned from this book tour?
That I've already had these interviews, and we should be talking about what Americans care about.
Oh my God. It is not revealing anything about your conversations with world leaders to just simply confirm whether or not you freaking had it.
Right.
You can just say, yeah, I met him, and I'm going to leave it there. Why can't she say that? Because she didn't freaking meet him. That's why.
Yeah.
She's a big fat liar.
She's old, you guys. She's my age. She's 50. She's old.
So mad.
She's exactly my age, 52.
And then Eric Bolling is, I guess he's known her a long time. He is surprised at how this whole story has come out.
They have the same person that puts filler in their faces.
And he's basically like, none of this sounds like the Kristi I know. And here is how that went.
I've also written a couple of books, and I know how the process works. You write some chapters. You don't write the whole book at once. You write a chapter or two. You send it to the editors, and they edit. They read it. They add. They subtract. And here's my question. The editor, was she possibly a plant, a liberal plant? Because I'm not sure either one of these stories, the dog story, the North Korea story, seems like the Kristi Noem I know.
No, the buck always stops with me. I take my own full responsibility. I wrote this book, and I take the responsibility for what's in it. It's a great book, Eric. I hope everybody reads it and buys it. It's available tomorrow, no going back.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. So she didn't write it, and she just found out about these passages that she didn't want in it, or she did write it. She can't keep her story straight.
When you have a ghostwriter, you didn't write it.
I just cannot. And then she has the absolute audacity in the midst of all of this chaos surrounding her to bitch about Nikki Haley. So she's starting this crazy story about how Nikki Haley called her at one point a couple years back, I guess, and basically was like, hey, I'm just reaching out. Like, I can mentor you. And like, we women governors need to stick together. And if anybody ever says anything bad about you, I'll let you know. It sounds like a perfectly reasonable conversation. She is making it out now to be super bitchy on Nikki's part. Now, I didn't hear the conversation. I don't know how it went, but even the people who are about to interview her on this don't believe, they think that she's making way more of this than there actually was. And so imagine choosing this moment where you're getting hit from all sides, rightfully so, to be snarky about another female politician.
Yeah, it's like, why didn't she do this before?
Right?
Why right now?
It is so bitchy. And this, I promise, is the last clip that we're playing of her, and then we'll move on. But like, I just could not believe this was yesterday. I could not believe it.
Beware of the lone
What
wolf.
about this purported call between former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley and you? Her team is saying a phone call was made, but back during 2020, during the pandemic, to offer support to you and the state of South Dakota. However, you describe it as a threatening phone call. What can you tell us about that?
Well, you know, I think that certainly her retelling of the story makes sense, because that's kind of what Nikki Haley does. You know, she says whatever works for her at that moment in time. So we had conversations in 2020. We had conversations in 2021. So that story is absolutely true. You know, I did feel threatened after that phone call very much. It was clear she was the lone wolf and that there wasn't room for another Republican woman in politics.
But Governor, I am curious, though, about why you felt threatened. Only because she says, I'm calling from one governor to another. I just want to offer my mentorship, she says, that you said she said. I offer my mentorship. I've heard great things about you. And if I hear something bad about you, I'll let you know. I read that, and I didn't think of it as a threat. I actually thought she was reaching out to you. What about it was threatening to you?
Well, words matter. And twice she repeated to me with long pauses that when she heard bad things, that she would make sure that I knew. And she said that, let me be clear, I will make sure that you know when I hear bad things. And there was never another phone call.
But why is that a bad thing? Because I had a friend who was somebody who said, I want to mentor you, and if I hear bad things about you, I'll let you know. I would be appreciative of that.
And they'd be friendly.
Yeah.
And they'd probably call you again, check on you.
So
if
the
you
tone
remember,
mattered to you?
If you remember during that time, I was during COVID.
Yes.
I was the only state in the entire country
that stayed open
and widely criticized by Republicans and Democrats. I didn't have a friend. There was not people that were calling me and saying, Kristi, you're right. You're making the right decisions for your people. You're following the Constitution. And typically, when I mentor people and I want to be friendly, I check on them. I call them. There was never once an outreach, and we were in many meetings after that where she was not friendly, I was not kind, and her words were not kind.
I just don't believe a word of that.
What do you want to bet?
Not a single word.
What do you want to bet that she doesn't have a lot of women friends?
Well, yeah. I mean, this is, I am done with her. Like, she's dead to me.
She is dead to mock.
I mean,
dead to mock, you guys. It's just one disappointment after that. Why do women have to be so bitchy?
Right?
Why do women? Seriously. I know. Listen. I have a cold. I'm just saying the things. But why do women have to be? Why do women have to be like this? Can't we just help each other? Like, and
I know.
Why? You know,
so
and I get such high hopes, you know, because I think, oh, there's going to be somebody who's going to be like a good leader in the GOP, and then I'm just like, wah 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 wah.
Living in New Tampa and Wesley Chapel. Thank you very much. She says, wishing my sweet, handsome hubby a happy anniversary. 30 years married, 35 years together. This is from Michelle Curtin. Thank you, Michelle. And happy anniversary.
Lori says it's the Botox. It makes you bitchy and a liar. Like, you know, there's maybe there is something to that. when it changes the construction of your face, and then it may contort your I don't know, something. Maybe it's seeping into their brains somehow.
Something's going on. Something is going on. Robin Zecca, thank you. Robin says she made 2 mistakes: shooting her dog and lying about Kim Jong-un. Well, she's making a lot more than that now. I mean, her big mistake now is continuing to freaking talk about it. No one's going to buy your damn book. Shut up.
I think maybe at this point she just needs to be like Homer Simpson and just like go back into the bushes. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Just because the news cycle is so crazy that I think at this point, if she just sort of got out of the limelight and just quit going on these freaking shows, then maybe that would save her career just a tiny bit. But at this point, she just keeps shooting herself in every foot, in the face. I mean, she's just like, pew, 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 pew. It's like, stop. Just stop.
Man.
Lord.
All right. Let's move on. We've got this is quite a mishmash that I have for you right now. So first of all, we're going to start off with a trans weirdo, because sometimes I like to share the freaks.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how this is allowed, but this is apparently on social, and it's fine to say this sort of thing. And here is this weirdo with some very threatening language.
Not to be like overly dramatic or anything, can we just start stabbing transphobes at this point? Like, we have such a big problem of transphobic people being fucking idiots and not getting their shit kicked in. Can we just start kicking their shit in? It would be so much easier for everyone. The entire world would be so much better if we could just stab a transphobe. Say something transphobic, you get stabbed. The world would be beautiful.
If you ask,
is that what was in the transgender manifesto that I've never seen? Is that what was in it?
You're not going to see it.
It's weird that we've never seen that, you guys. We've seen all the other manifestos. I've never seen that one. Is that what was in it? Only she talked about shooting us. Is that what was in it? Yeah, because I'd like to see it. And you bring it, dude. Bring it. Come to my house and try to stab me, and we'll see what happens. All right,
dude.
I did. I did say dude.
And then just apropos of nothing, there's this very, very short Mel Gibson clip. I don't even know when it's from. I don't know who he's talking to, but it was interesting to me because he's basically saying in his way that people need to stop caring what other people think in terms of like public humiliation, right? So the cancel culture. I think this is a great testament about how cancel culture needs to be handled. Here is
transphobic, you get stabbed. The world would be beautiful.
If you ask most people what their number one fear is, what do you think it is? Most people's number one fear is public humiliation. I don't give a fuck anymore.
She doesn't care. He doesn't
I love
care.
that. I love the crazed look in his eyes. It's like so Lethal Weapon 1.
I
know what I mean?
I totally love it too. And and he is supposedly coming out with like movies about, also like exposing all sorts of stuff in Hollywood. I hope he does. I'd like about trafficking and all that kind of stuff. That's what I've heard. Have you guys heard that? Like he's
interesting.
Right.
He was
I hope
so good looking.
And he's super good friends with like Jim Caviezel. And I know he is. He's really good looking. I hope that he continues to do things and to bring like shed light on stuff that goes on in Hollywood, and that he stays alive.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
This is just a funny little video that I saw about words that you can't say. Speaking of cancel culture, only this is hilarious and inappropriate. Hide your kids. Hide your wives. Hide everybody.
Some words you can't say, John. The N-word. Very good. Tim. I guess under certain contexts it's okay, but for me, I can't say the R word. Excellent. Now, Alex, what about you? Well, I don't know what they're on about, but rule. It's rural.
Rural.
Pronounce a second R or rural. Yeah, you're right. That is hard to say. I can't say it. So what part of the N-word is hard for you to say? No, there's not really a specific part of it that's hard to say. It's a whole word I can't say. Really? Yeah. Okay, well, maybe I can help you. Now, I want you to think about a guy who uses a shovel to displace dirt and then replace that first letter with an N. Mexican? No.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
So inappropriate, but also hilarious. Hilarious. And then I forget this guy's name. He's so funny. I keep seeing his stuff pop up in my algorithm, and he is making fun so much of the protesters. So you remember the chick that was like, we need humanitarian aid. He is making fun of her.
You know, most of the encampments at UCLA have been torn down. There are still some survivors, and we desperately need humanitarian aid. We need water bottles. We need vegan food. We need gluten-free bagels. We need banana-free bananas if you have them. Stop it. Stop. We need first aid kits. If anybody has enriched uranium, that would be super helpful. Or weapons-grade plutonium. If you have a free-range rocket launcher, we need a rocket launcher. If anybody has those old SS uniforms from the 40s, we need those. We need wheelchair-accessible paragliders for some of our disabled comrades. Oh, guard towers. We need guard towers. If anyone's been to Poland and they can get their hands on some guard towers, we are still fighting the good fight on the front lines, not discouraged. I think we're pretty close. We're probably a couple weeks away from freeing Palestine. I need to get back to my ethics class, but I will see you all soon with some more updates from the encampment.
I gotta get back to my ethics class. He's majoring in women's studies, you know it.
He did another one where it was making fun. I think this is either Princeton or Yale. I can't remember where these hunger strike idiots are. But there was like a group of 6 or 7 of them who were reading their little statements from their phones when they were announcing their hunger strike. So you can see him right behind those first 2 guys. He sort of photoshopped himself in there. And so he is now a participant.
Have begun our hunger strike to stand in solidarity with the people of Gaza.
We will abstain from all food and drink except water.
Exactly. In solidarity with the people of Gaza, we'll be consuming nothing but water and vitamins and select smoothies from Jamba Juice, Amy's vegetarian bean and cheese burritos, and of course Pop-Tarts in honor of the release of Unfrosted, now streaming on Netflix. Unfrosted tells the amazing true story of the invention of the Pop-Tart. Set in 1963 in Michigan, the film highlights business rivals Kellogg's and Post's fierce competition to create a cake that could change breakfast forever. Jeremy Seinfeld delights in this comedy full of laughs.
Jeremy Seinfeld. Jeremy Seinfeld.
You said to write something.
Is that actually, because I want to see that if that's actually if that's a movie.
I know that there's a new Jerry Seinfeld movie.
Seinfeld. Is it Unfrosted? Have you guys seen that? Because I want to see that. If that's,
I think that's right.
That
sounds right.
I would imagine that if this is a thing, Jerry Seinfeld probably said, do this. Because, he's.
I love that guy.
This is his way of standing up against these Palestinian protesters. Is probably Jerry Seinfeld's way of doing that. Yeah.
Also, wanted to share a very optimistic video from a Democrat and from a former Biden voter who has seen the light. So it's always good to share these because I'm hoping they're representative of a lot more people. Here is a former Democrat voter.
You said to write something.
I voted for Biden last time, and I've only ever voted for Democrats, but I'm voting for Trump this time, and the reason is that I voted for Biden because I was trying to eliminate chaos, and I wanted the establishment to regain order on the world. And firstly, the beginning of Biden's presidency, that was not what happened. It's barely just now gotten back to somewhat normal, and that excludes inflation, which is still out of control. So the biggest reason that I'm voting for Trump is just I voted for Biden to end chaos, and he didn't deliver. And he's moved further away from the positions he advocated for while he was running, and I don't support the positions he's taken. So that's why I'm going to vote for Trump, even though I'm a lifelong Democrat. I just can't support this one, not this time.
That's solid.
Right?
Look
at him using his actual brain.
I know. Look at him thinking critically. It's pretty solid. And he's right.
To see it.
He's 100% correct on all those things that he said.
You love to see it. Donna Birch, thank you. Donna says, off to Florida to watch my grandson at the National Gymnastic Championships. Go Ray. Love my chicks.
Yay.
Donna, that's so exciting. Have the best time ever. I don't know when this is from, who this is. I just know I saw this and I was like, this is excruciating, but also well done to this fellow for plowing through the worst botching of the national anthem since Roseanne.
Whose broad stripes and bright stars were so gallantly there, as though rockets were there, and the twilight's last gleaming.
Oh my God.
And the rocket's red glare were so gallantly there.
Oh my God.
The stripes were all there.
What?
And
What?
the rockets were there.
The rockets
Everything
were
was
there.
there.
Oh, say
Everything.
does
Very gallant.
that
They were very gallant.
star-spangled banner
What am
yet
I listening to?
blaze
But he
for
finishes.
the land of the free
What is wrong
and
with you?
the home of the brave.
Watch his face at the end.
Oh my God, it's a Chrissy Teigen face. And no one clapped. Everybody was like, you are a
Oh my
disgrace to
God.
America. Go away.
Brutal.
Like,
Brutal.
revoke your citizenship. Go away. Oh my God. I mean, his voice was nice.
It was great. His voice was great.
His voice was
and
nice.
he finished. He was going to do this till the end, man. But yikes.
Not a quitter, that guy. But he
Not a
should quit.
quitter.
He should quit.
He should just quit forever.
Wow.
Yikes. Okay, one thing before we get to your TD, and that is, I thought you would appreciate this because you and I both not fans of ostriches.
Oh my
This
God.
This is
Oh
a
my-
bird that. What?
There are 130 on the loose here in the WACO area.
What?
It's so funny that you're bringing up ostriches because my rancher friend that lives close to me, she sent me a text yesterday and she's like, there are 130 like somewhere on this ranch around here that are on the loose. And I was like, and she goes, and the thing actually said, do not approach them if you see one on your property. Do not approach them because they could be scared. And I'm like, you can damn well be sure I'm not going to approach one. I will be.
What if your
running
cows
from
do? Like,
it.
what would the cows think?
I don't know what they think, but I will be running far away from an ostrich. There's no way I'm approaching an ostrich
Oh
because
my
they
God.
are Satan birds, you guys. Satan birds.
Okay, but what if one of them like gets into your pool and is like, "This is awesome.
I will
I'm
be.
staying."
I will be inside calling 911 because
What
I
do
am
you do?
not.
Like, what does 911 do?
I don't know. I hope that they bring a SWAT team to get it out of my pool. I am not touching an ostrich. Like they freak me out, you guys. I am like not afraid of them.
Call Kristi Noem.
I'm going to call Kristi Noem. I'm calling her. She's going to show up with a helicopter. She'll be shooting from the helicopter with an AR. She'll have she'll have one of those rocket launchers. She'll be like, it's fine. I got this. Oh my God.
Okay,
that's
but
scary.
all that to say,
Yes.
as much as we hate them, there's a video that had made me feel a little bit of affection for them.
Really?
And I think maybe it'll help you as well.
Okay.
Okay, so just watch how fun this is.
They scare me.
I know they're very scary, but look.
I don't think they. What's he going to do? Okay.
I mean, that's amazing.
That is pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
So that's what you need to do if you see one on your property.
Yeah, but I think. All right. After I crap my pants, I will do that. Look at the one behind him. He's like, I don't know. We're supposed to kill the human. We're not supposed to dance with it. What are you doing?
I love that so much.
They're so prehistoric, you guys. It's like,
They
I feel
are.
like they're not supposed to be here. They freak me out.
Like the same, like the meteor that hit all the dinosaurs or whatever. Where?
Right.
How did the
I don't know.
ostriches survive that?
And
I don't.
you know, I love gigantic animals. Like, and if whatever animal it is, I want the most gigantic, but birds are the exception.
Yeah.
They're not supposed to be that big.
It's very, very scary.
It's really weird.
Robin Zecca also said, call Kristi Noem. Yeah.
We should call Kristi Noem for sure.
Oh my gosh. All right. Now it's time for your DD.
Okay. You know how I'm always showing you guys like roller coasters and people jumping at like slip and sliding out of planes onto another slip and slide, stuff like that. Okay. This is a swing that I would actually do because
You would?
Yeah. If you guys were children of the 80s, you wanted this to happen, right?
No,
I wanted
absolutely not.
I kind of wanted this to happen. So this is the exception to my, I'm not a daredevil rule. I would want to do this.
I'm still a nope on this. Very much.
I'm a yep. I'm a yep on this. You guys, your mileage may vary. Tell me what you think. It's a 360-degree swing.
No.
Now, if she played the audio of this chick is screaming the whole time. Now, you don't get
music,
to scream.
so I had to turn it
Yeah,
off.
you don't get to scream the whole time. Like, I wanted to smack her. She was just like so annoying.
No, right there. Oh my God, no. Absolutely not.
I think it looks kind of fun. Like, I
You're
don't know
not even strapped in. Like, there's nothing holding you.
No, there is nothing holding you. There's nothing holding you. But it does look good. Remember when we were kids? And we wanted to do that? Like you would swing so high that you're like, I bet I can go all the way over.
I never wanted to go all the way over. I wanted to get high enough to jump out, but I never wanted to go all the way over.
Doesn't it look kind of fun? Doesn't it look kind of fun, you guys? A little bit, just a little bit.
No, you're crazy. You are crazy.
A little bit crazy, but that is like, I don't know why, but that looks kind of fun. That looks kind of fun. Okay. I Mock is like, no,
absolutely not.
Right.
Okay, we're gonna do schlong in just a moment, but first I wanted to share a couple of headlines, namely the new tweets from the CEO of Hims, because facing a lot of backlash, their stock tanked like 10%. And then before we even get to that, Wanda, this was from yesterday. It was a Venmo that we didn't catch, and so Wanda said, "Finally figured this out. Love you, ladies," which was very
Wanda.
sweet. And then here's Andrew Dudum or whatever. This is the Hims guy. Okay. So he put out these new tweets saying the last few days have been a disheartening reflection of just how divisive a time we live in. I'd like to clarify a few things because my words have been misconstrued.
Oh, bull crap. It's
right?
Like he's just getting hit. His bottom line is getting hit. And so now he's like, oh crap, I'm losing money. Now I got to come out there and say something different. What a jerk this guy is.
So now he's saying, I in no way condone or support acts of threats of violence, anti-Semitism, or intimidation. There's absolutely no justification for violence on campus. Every student deserves to feel safe without fear of harm for being targeted for who they are. I'm deeply saddened, blah, 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 blah. So that was the first part. And then he said, I believe in the right for people to use their voices to drive change, blah, blah, blah. And then lastly, as a father whose children are both the descendants of Palestinian refugees who fled the Nakba in 1948 and the descendants of Holocaust survivors from Poland, as I have previously shared, I have a personal appreciation for the different perspectives people have, which I live with daily at my dinner table. I hope and pray for peace and for an end to violence everywhere. Please look at my Medium column. No.
You
said what you said. We all saw it, and you can suck it.
Go eat some more soy at your dinner table. God, you jerk.
And then also your favorite, Gleeborg 9 himself.
Oh, here we go.
He's a climate change whack job, and he's an activist. And he would also like you to know that he has a new $300 million mega yacht.
Unbelievable.
287 feet and 4 diesel engines. Look at that thing.
They are just the biggest bunch of hypocrites, are they not? It's
infuriating.
America's elites are laughing right in our faces. It's like we have to staple money to the clouds while they do this.
Mm-hmm.
He can suck it. All of them can. I don't want to hear a word from any of them. Not the George Clooney's or the Leonardo DiCaprios or any of these yahoos or Taylor Swift, who's flying all over God's green earth. It's like they can all suck it.
Oh my gosh. It's just infuriating.
Yep.
All right. Our schlong today is about the Met Gala and the dresses, because there were some outfits that we need to talk about. And first, I'm going to share my screen, actually, because Kim Kardashian's waist does not make sense. It doesn't make sense.
It's just stupid.
How is her body, like, where are her organs?
Well, I think they use those little waist trainers, you know what I'm talking about? And she probably has had organs removed, and she is just an alien at this point. Don't you guys
I'm sorry, but that's not normal. That's not normal. That looks insane.
Kelly said she's had ribs removed. I believe that. I'm sure she's had ribs removed. She's had stuff removed from her body. Her body is freaking weird. That's not a normal human, like, woman human body. That's just not.
It doesn't make sense.
It's
It looks
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
It does look ridiculous. It does.
Okay, I'm glad we agree on that because that I just was like, what?
And that dress,
even?
did you see her walking up the stairs? Like she had help.
Yeah.
And somebody was helping her. When you need help walking upstairs and you're that age, I mean, it's one thing when you're 80 and somebody's helping you, but somebody else is helping you walk up the stairs when you're what, like 40 years old?
There was somebody who actually got physically lifted from stair to stair. I can't remember who that was, but it was so funny to me to watch that.
Wear
oh my
gosh. Dress. Like you're just, it's comical. I was looking at some of these dresses yesterday and I'm like, I hate all these people. Like I just, they just look ridiculous. And they think they're so self-important, you know, it's just, maybe it's my age, but I would never want to be a part of this whole scene. Like I can't imagine being in this and thinking.
Well, some of the dresses were really pretty. I thought, like Kylie Jenner, I don't mind that. I mean, the boobs are a little pointy, but like it's fine. It's fine. Jennifer Lopez always makes that face at cameras where she like looks like she's trying to go to sleep, but also looks sultry at the same time.
Like she looks like too much light is in her eyes.
Yeah.
And then she's saying prune, you know?
Right. She's always saying prune. Yeah. I don't mind. I mean, I would never wear that dress, but like as far as Met Gala dresses go, it's pretty tame.
Is that
right?
Zendaya on the right?
Yes. And she looks like Helena Bonham Carter to me.
Yeah. Why does she look like she's such a beautiful girl? Why does she make herself look like she's 80 years old?
I don't know.
Why do you want to look
not
old?
like that at all?
It's like that doesn't make any
Jackie
sense.
thinks she looked awesome. I think she looks like Helena Bonham Carter.
Oh, she looks terrible.
And that's not a good look.
No.
Did not like that at all.
Makeup, everything is so severe. She does not look, she's so gorgeous. No, it doesn't work.
Yeah, there's Kim again. God, here's what's her name? Kendall
Jenner. Yeah.
Looking very Elvira.
It's fine. Whatever.
I don't really understand the things that are dangling from the arm, from the
These
shoulders.
girls have had so much work done. They're like just weird versions of their former selves, you know? All of them.
Do you like this though? This dress?
Yeah. I'm sorry, my house is shaking because of SpaceX. Seriously, it is right now, you guys. It's shaking. That was really weird.
Really?
Yeah, now it's stopped.
Okay.
No, it hasn't.
Do you like this?
It's okay. I wouldn't. I like the top of it. I wish that it didn't have the separation in the middle, and then I'd like it. If it was all one piece, I think I'd like it, and I may actually wear it if it was all one piece.
Yeah, I just don't understand the fringe. I'm not a fan of the fringe. And what is this? This is allegedly Dua Lipa.
Dua Lipa.
What even?
I don't. What are they doing with the hips cut out? I'm not sure. I understand what's happening with that. And they're all doing the black and the feathers, and I don't. Yeah, I'm not a fan. The Elvira looks. People are saying the Elvira look. No.
Yeah, I dislike that as well. Mary Credian, I'm not sure how to say her last name, but Mary on Venmo said Kim K is an example of Theseus's paradox. Is she really still Kim if she replaces so many parts?
That's true.
I don't know. It's a good point.
She was a beautiful girl too to start.
Yeah, she used to be amazing, and now she's just fake. This I thought was really. I love this. I absolutely love this. This is.
I actually love it too because it's yellow roses. I love yellow roses.
I think this is Gigi Hadid. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. She looks really pretty. I
love it.
Yeah.
And her hair looks beautiful. I just love everything about that.
I love it too. I think it's really different and pretty. And it's like Yellow Rose of Texas. So I'm kind of digging this.
It's so pretty.
Yeah.
Emily Radikowski.
Look at my ass.
I want to be naked, but I'm not allowed to be naked. So I'll just be as naked as I can without actually being naked.
They had to bleep out her nipples.
Yeah.
God, it's this woman. And then she's the one who always complains about being objectified.
Right.
She's like, oh my God, everybody's always looking at my nipples. Well, then maybe don't display them all the time.
Well, and nakedness was a theme at this Met Gala because like so many people just showed all of their stuff. Like this is Doja Cat wearing a wet t-shirt dress. And like she kept fondling herself like the entire time that the photographers were snapping pictures. It was so weird.
And you know that
she's
dress
just naked.
That dress probably cost $10,000. And
it's literally a t-shirt.
I know. And the designer's like, you losers. Yeah, that's the thing.
There's Ariana Grande looking very classy.
Also like completely different than what she looked like as a child. You know, she's completely transformed herself. I don't mind it except for the sash around the middle.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It would be fine without it. And the eyelash,
She looks like
the butterfly things.
Looks like drapes is what it looks like to me.
Yeah. It's not bad. Kaya Gerber is gorgeous.
Stunning. She's
like,
ridiculous.
Perfect.
She's her mother.
Yeah, she absolutely
her mother
is.
all over again. She looks exactly like Cindy. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful dress.
Beautiful.
Very classy and elegant. What
Mindy
in the
Kaling.
hell is that?
I don't know.
It looks like some sort of sea creature is eating her. What is happening?
To me, it looks like somebody was just like, what would it look like if we made an entire dress out of Ace bandages?
Oh
Let's
my
do that.
God. It's awful. What is happening? It's eating her.
Yeah, it's weird. And how do you sit? Like how
You don't. You just stand in the back. You're going to be standing the whole time. It's a jellyfish. Yes, it reminds me of a jellyfish, like a sea creature, Debbie. Yes. What?
It's ridiculous. Sarah Jessica Parker.
Girl, you are not going to some royal function, okay? Like she's seriously. What is it? What do they call what the big hats? What do they call
fascinators?
Fascinator. She's got a fascinator going on. She's like, I'm going to the royal wedding. No. Look at the hose. Look at the pantyhose.
I know. I mean, it's head to toe. She's got the stuff.
And she's got a little, what do they call the hoop? She's got the hoops going on in there too.
Yeah. A hoop skirt.
Susan said royal ascot.
Here is Nicole Kidman looking like a yin yang symbol.
I don't hate it. I mean, I listen because I like black and white, but I don't like it either. So I don't really know. I'm neutral on this. I'm very neutral on this.
Yeah.
Are those her arms? What was happening there? Were those her arms, or is it like the white is blending into her skin? I can't tell.
Yeah, I mean, she's got gloves on.
Okay, all right, but those are those are her real shoulders. Like, is that?
I think
or
so.
Is that like okay? All right, I'm just making sure.
Yeah, I think. And then this is Cardi B.
What is going on?
How was she transported to the Met Gala is what I want to know. Like, how did that even happen?
It's bigger than my house, you guys. That dress is big. I'm not even kidding. I'm not exaggerating.
Like, how do you pee? How do you drive? How do you do anything?
You could fit a porta potty underneath that. It doesn't matter. Nobody's going to know. No one's going to know.
Oh my God. That is wild. I thought was beautiful. Penelope Cruz. I just think she's gorgeous.
It's very Spanish. It has a lot of like Spanish element to it.
So lacy.
Yeah,
it's just
pretty.
She looks beautiful. I just love that. And then the it couple, Chris Hemsworth and Elsa Psaki.
I think she could have done better. Her body is banging, and she could have actually worn something that showed it off a little bit more. Like, why is she wearing that?
I don't exactly know, and I'm not really looking at her, to be honest.
Right. I know. Chris Hemsworth. Hi. Hey, Chris. How are you?
Such a good suit on him. And then I don't like this neck thing, but I think what's Matt Damon's wife? I forget her name, but she looks very, very nice.
Either. Yeah, she looks very pretty. The neck thing is a little distracting too. I totally agree. But yeah,
and I didn't realize her boobs were that ginormous, but they are.
I'm sure that was like one of the first things that he noticed about her.
Anyway, this was our review of the dresses.
It was a good
last
review.
night.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful couples. Yeah, it did look like a gold body condom. It did.
Yeah,
it
kind of did.
Elsa Psaki is her name, and she's beautiful. Like, she's stunning. Like,
Yeah,
together, they're
oh
not
my
even
God.
like right that they are a couple because they're so gorgeous together.
It
that
should be illegal.
Right, it defies logic. And then they had
Mhm.
children together, and their children. I don't know if you guys have ever seen their children. They're ridiculous. They're just
The whole family. Have you seen his parents? I mean, the entire
all of
family
them.
is out of
like the
control.
Hemsworths are they're freaks of nature.
They really are.
They're all
Absolutely.
freaks.
Jessica Simon, thank you. Jessica says, I agree with you, Daisy. The swing looks amazingly fun.
Doesn't
You
it look
guys
kind
are
of
crazy?
It's a little
Crazy.
I know. Normally I wouldn't say that, but I actually would do that one.
And Timothy Ham, thank you. Timothy says, Sarah Jessica Parker left the Kentucky Derby and went straight to the Met Gala with that getup. I mean, she
True.
would have fit in just
That's
fine.
true.
There.
We should get one of those swings for a meet and greet.
Yeah, that's what we need is that liability. A great plan.
That's true. We'd have people signing waivers like left and right. If you die, don't blame us.
Yeah,
okay?
it's not our fault.
Right, exactly.
All right, it is time for some My Pillow Toks, and you have to see this puppy. This puppy is trying to be so vicious, and he just can't be vicious, but look at him try.
Oh my God. I cannot.
Oh my God.
I just can't. He's so cute.
I love the silent, like the little chomps, like where he's
Mr.
like
Sassy Pants.
Oh my God, I love that dog. Love that dog.
So cute.
You guys have all seen, what's his name? There's a guy that chops wood all over TikTok, and people are like in love with him.
I know who you're talking
Thor,
about.
like I think he goes by like Thor or something or other.
It's hot.
Super hot. And he chops wood, and like people just go gaga over it.
Yeah.
So this guy stitched his video.
Oh my God. He's like sweating. He's sweating. I love that. That's great.
Oh my God, that absolutely cracked me up.
That's fantastic.
Also, I forget where this is. It's like in, I forget what country. There's a country where there's a big giant sea lion who just comes into town all the time, and he's well known throughout the town, and he loves people, and he just comes into town, and people are like, oh yeah, there's what's his face. And so in this particular encounter, he apparently wanted to go home with the people that he met on his little trail.
This is what I'm saying. We're walking home now.
Neil the seal.
And
oh my God, I love him.
he's like, no, I'm coming. You can't come with us, Neil.
Oh,
buddy, I know you're lonely here.
I love him.
But you just can't come, bud. I'd love to take you home.
Oh,
I'm saying, we're walking home now.
He's not allowed to
I
go.
would totally take him home.
He would love your pool.
He would, right? He
would love your pool.
I know.
There's a comedian who decided to pose as a fake protester at a variety of different protests. Here she is making her case.
I severely need attention. Daddy didn't hug me enough. Woohoo! I need attention. Hello? I'm not hireable. No one will hire me. I stink at my job. All jobs. I'm fat and I'm going nowhere. I don't want to work hard. Stay home. No work. Give me stuff for free. Give me stuff. I lost my job in a Jack in the Box. I suck.
I love her. Oh my God. We need to be friends immediately. I love her.
Oh my God. So great.
I lost my job in a Jack in the Box.
This lab really likes going to the beach, gets a little overly excited too quickly.
Schnoodle, was just wondering if because it's the weekend you might like to go to the beach. No, I haven't finished the story yet. Come here. Come on. I haven't finished the story. And we can take the ball. I haven't finished. Come here.
Oh my God.
And then we can take a picnic and we can play in the sea and we can go swimming. I've not finished the story. Come back here. Let's go to the beach.
Oh my God. I love him.
He loves the beach.
He loves the beach and swimming.
We're gonna finish off with some Screaming Huskies because it's been way too long.
Way too long.
Since we've had Screaming Huskies. Here are some.
Excuse me. No, ow, ow, ow. No. No, sir.
Shh. I love that. Oh, there's another one. They're joining in. I like going to the front.
you imagine living?
Oh my God. Do you any of you
Oh my
have these
God.
dogs? My God, Deanna, I think Deanna has them. I cannot.
Oh my God, they're so funny. Thank you to Brian Brumley over on Locals, who says, bet all these bimbos support Hamas. Who's going to tell them? And I'm not sure what time that was or who he was referring to exactly. But thank you very much, Brian. And then Jose said, if I wrote the anthem and Mock sang it, Jose, can you see all the dogs over there?
Oh my God.
And then also we have Venmo from Michelle Billier, who said, chicks, happy Mother's Day. With all the craziness, thought I would take a sidebar and celebrate you both. Blessings.
It's a Mother's Day this weekend, isn't it? This Sunday is Mother's Day.
Yeah, that's right.
I think that's right. I think it is Mother's Day this weekend. I hope my family knows that.
She gets first to say happy Mother's Day. So
Yeah,
thank
you did.
Thank you very much.
You guys,
Anyway,
I'm
those are your
gonna
talks.
have to get right into bed after this because I'm not feeling well.
And I'm going to take Ella to the Cairo.
You guys, I'm sorry about all the snorliness this morning. I'll probably have to run to the doctor today and maybe I'll feel better tomorrow. I'm so sorry that I've been so snorly in front of you and sneezy and gross and all that stuff. So tomorrow will be a better day. Everybody have a fantastic Tuesday and we will talk to you then. Bye, everybody.